tangible, I will make Salone really lift off on the development ladder.
But people, they also see you as betrayer because of what may happen between you and your former boss. And then why they for trust you? Because they say you will overthrow your boss at that time. So why the whole country for believe you and put the country in your hand for one?
I overthrew my boss because I feel say the country important past me and my boss. I would prefer for betray my boss than for betray the country.
So what's they happy at that time?
We be don't talk say with the handover. When the time come for handover, I say no, we know for handover. We for continue again. And this was January 1996, and the elections be supposed to take place in February. Me talk say I'm not going to be part of that plan because I know say it will throw the country into further chaos. That was the point of departure between me and my boss. I stand by that today. If history were to repeat itself, I will stand for the people of Sierra Leone. I will fight anybody from Sierra Leone. That was what I swore for when I joined the armed forces of Sierra Leone, for defend the nation. I will defend them against external enemies, internal enemies, however powerful they are.
So it's saying no, what did it mean? I mean, Leone no hand over power, or there was another agenda?
Well, it's a one contest in the election, but that was not the arrangement. We talk say with the handover to a civilian government. We gone as a military government for save the country. And interestingly, the person will make that public pronouncement na Strasser in if we now go back into the archives, in 1993, a year after we don't take over, we've been put out a program in which we say we recover the economy, which was in a very bad shape, and that we end the war, which of course we know about and then we bring back democracy. The economy, we of course going to recover an economy where we don't take a downward plunge for a very long time. But we were able to stabilize and things were better than they were when we took over. The war was not coming to an end, contrary to what we be the member. So, me, say, if we're not able to end the war, then we can go to the third one, which was for bring about a democratic dispensation, when also a conflict resolution mechanism, waiting make people in effect, because one group of people will go sit down on power and refuse to go. So once we introduce that, it will help to institutionalize the process of governance in that country. So every 5 years, they will go back to the people. In my own opinion, since in the Strasser, then my boss, now Incessant put that out, and not see any reason why we will go back on that word and not go renege on a public pronouncement. So as a matter of fact, in fact, maybe they try to save them because now Incessant going to public and there are records to that for talk say with the handover and a so we they do. If he say they do them and me have been part of them and are able to stop and not for do them, now that's what I've been do to save the country from falling.
So you not get no regret when you over to Strasser?
Not at all.
And you not think say that one day they follow you or up till now whenever you come up say they go for leadership?
Well, if anybody say for bring about democracy not bad thing, then I do bad thing. If anybody talk say for stand for your country, for one person in your interest and the whole country not bad thing, then make you follow me. But me no say I better save Sierra Leone from further war.
Also be selfish interest for make at that time you said be head of state.
If I be one for doing for selfish interest, I for don't stay longer. Nobody know for me pull me. But the day I take over and there is record to that effect, and now say the date will be don't say one day no they don't panel and one day no they don't panel. I just be one for make sure say the killing where they go on as Salone, we stop them. And me be no say as a military government we be don't do as much as we can and that we need for give a chance to a civilian dispensation where we be not make all the arrangements for renege on that. Maybe no say now a recipe for chaos and I just not want being one for be part of that chaos. Now that make a depart from me boss and a decision that we don't make we do say we did today and I will always stand by that decision and not ever regret them.
Issues like this, new overthrowing Strasser, issues of the Bambis, always don't they come up and you're doing a political life now. When you think say this go be thing of the past, people don't understand on a motive at that particular time.
Well, maybe when I start need for help with the media because I don't give this explanation. And even the one day, this not to be a secret to happen, you can talk to a lot of people that will tell you say, me and Strasser will fall out only when you say you want for make we continue. I serve him for 4 years. One day, would cite an instance of insubordination. But the day when he talks, say, if they go against the people, me talk, say, no, I will stand by the people. And I know they stand, I know they do this because of myself, and they do it for the people. When they pull you, we do what you be say what they do, and we all they go. And that happened. So the earlier where people that understand say, I'm not betray. But if you decide for call and betray, I would prefer any time for betray one person than for betraying a country, if not betrayal. On Bombay issue, I don't talk about that severally. On BBC, on national TV, on national radio, even to UNSSF 98. And I intend to go back on that. It's clear the Truth and Reconciliation Commission covered that very, very well. Then take the blame to the person and groups that were responsible. And we need for the look forward now. And that's what we try to do.
All right. Now let me look at President Nkrumah leadership. What do you think about her?
As an individual, I think say I will reserve my comments at this point in time. You know, say making come from time to time and make an evaluation over a certain period. The APC, they do within the able do, and within me they look up to really not for develop policies there. For the gaps then where they don't create or where they not cover, we mean no say if for be covered in order to start up development process, changing development. One way they give foundation, we will make salon take off as a nation. Now that's if I did out here. Now, actually, what they call knowledge formation, looking at other successful models around the world. Now, that I try for do. I will bring all of that experience, the experience we don't get in the past, and what you see other people then they do around the world. We don't succeed. Now, I want for go take the judgment on the APC or President Nkrumah. Definitely not me want for Duam. When we ready for Duam, I go do a comprehensive judgment from 2012 to 2017. When we say them for conduct election and go.
All right. So you then had a study. When would they hope for see you done and then come back now you country and do what you say you want for Kandu?
Well, I don't go far from my studies, but of course the project is already a much more important project. This for me an aside, and like I say, I can't develop myself further for no waiting I for do by the grace of God where the people of Sweden elect me as the leader. I intend to go back to Sweden this year. In about 3 weeks, I'll go there inside Freetown. And I intend to go around the country, especially the one that we don't fight off Ebola. I think we need for celebrate because this might be a big menace to national security, individuals then too, and to all activities. I don't go Sweden twice. I'm not able to go further than Kenema. This is a moment where we use for able to go around the country and just meet friends and political contacts or say hi. So I am definitely coming by the grace of God at the end of September.